Of the victims of the 1985 Japan Airlines crash are commemorating the 30th anniversary of the tragedy. Flight 123 is still the deadliest single aircraft accident in history. 520 passengers and crew were killed. Only 4 people survived. A memorial is being held at the crash site in the mountains northwest of Tokyo. Harry Fawcett sent us this update from Tokyo.
Relatives of the victims of the world's worst single aircraft airline disaster have been marking the moment that it happened 30 years ago. It was August the 12th, 1985, that Japan Airlines Flight 123 from Tokyo to Osaka came down in Gunma Prefecture. What had happened was the rear pressure bulkhead had given way, depressurizing the aircraft, severing hydraulic cables, damaging control surfaces. The plane simply became unflyable. Among the 520 people who died was young 9-year-old Ken Miyajima. He'd been put on the plane by his mother to visit relatives and go to a baseball tournament in Osaka. We spoke to her and she talked about how she'd climbed up to the mountainside crash site 3 days after the plane came down and encountered a hellish sight.
I had brought Ken a pack of juice and it was in my backpack. When I poured it on the aircraft, it made this enormous sound. In that moment, it hit me that a horrendous accident has happened here. But it still made me think that Ken was still there. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. That was all I could manage to tell him.
Kuniko Miyajima says it's important that the memory of her son and the other victims of the crash live on and serve as reasons to continue to learn lessons from what happened. The investigators found that there was a faulty repair done by Boeing after a tail strike when the plane landed 7 years prior to this crash, but also that there were failures in Japan Airlines' inspection process as well. In 2006, Japan Airlines instituted a safety promotion center where some of the remnants of the crash site are displayed. All of its staff have to go and view that and go through seminars to remind them of the importance of safety. It's worth noting as well that in the 30 years since the crash of Flight 123, there has been no other fatal domestic airline incident in Japan.
In the United States, Hillary Clinton has handed over the private email server she used while Secretary of State to the FBI. The Democratic presidential contender has been under scrutiny over her use of a private email account. Critics say that the setup was unsecure and designed to shield her communications from oversight. Police in the US city of Ferguson have released surveillance video they say shows a suspect who was later shot by police carrying a handgun. Police say these still pictures from local CCTV show Tyrone Harris on a sidewalk during protests marking the death of unarmed black teenager Michael Brown a year ago. 18-year-old Harris was shot several times by police and remains in a critical condition. The US Coast Guard has made its biggest haul of cocaine and heroin in a single mission. The illegal drugs are worth more than $1 billion. Mariana Hahn reports.
At first glance, the pellets look like the many millions of others shipped legitimately into the US every year. Take a closer look, and this cargo is pure, uncut and illegal. 32 tons of cocaine and 2 tons of heroin. For the US Coast Guard, it marks its greatest triumph on a single mission to crack down on drug smuggling.
The wholesale value alone exceeds $1 billion. I'm not in the market of selling this, but trust me, on the street it would sell for much more.